Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, oh Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, oh yeah, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, oh my Lord. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama. Oh, Rama. Oh. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhupada. Thank you, Lord Chaitanya. Nityananda, Sri Advaita Gadadhar, Shivasari Gaur Bhaktavrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Oh, Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama. Woo! Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hari Hari, Hari Hari, Hari Hari, Hari Hari, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, oh my Lord. Hare Krishna. Woo! Oh my God. Limited bliss. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Krishna, oh my Lord Krishna. Oh, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Jesus, Prabhupada, Nityananda, Gauranga, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Nityananda Gauranga, Nityananda, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, 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 Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Nityananda, Shri Krishna Chaitanya Nityananda, Shri Krishna Chaitanya Nityananda, Nityananda, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya Nityananda, Krishna Chaitanya Nityananda, Shri 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 Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Shri Krishna Chaitanya, 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 Radhe Radhe Govinda, Radhe Radhe Govinda, Radha Radha 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 Govinda. Oh, Radhe Govinda, Radhe Radhe Govinda, Radhe Radhe Govinda, Radha Radha Govinda, Radha Radha Govinda, Radha Radha Govinda, Radha Radha Govinda, Radha Govinda, Radha Govinda, Radha Govinda, Radha Govinda, Radha Radha Radha, Radha Radha Radha, Radha Radha Radhe Radhe Radha Radha Govinda, Radha Radha Govinda, Radha Radha Madhava, Radha Radha Madhava, Radha Madhava, Radha Radha Madhava, Radha Hare Krishna, Radha Radha Madhava, Radha Radha Madhava, Radha Radha Madhava, Radha Radha Madhava, Radha Madhava, Radha Radha Madhava. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Rama Krishna. Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Gauranga. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna. Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Hare Krishna, Gauranga, Nityananda, Krishna, Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda. Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari, Gaur Bhakta-vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Hare. Jai Srila Prabhupada, Jai Jesus. All glories to all the devotees of Lord Chaitanya and Radha and Krishna. Nandi Slokas. May the sight of Srimati Radharani's Kilakanchit ecstasy, may the sight of Sri Radharani's Kilakanchit ecstasy. May the sight of Srimati Radharani's Kilakanchit ecstasy, which is like a bouquet, bring good fortune to all. Bring good fortune to all. May the sight of Srimati Radharani's Kilakanchit ecstasy, which is like a bouquet, bring good fortune to all. Oh, yeah. When Sri Krishna blocked Srimati Radharani's way to the Dhanagati, there was laughter within her heart. There is laughter within her heart. There is laughter within her heart. Her eyes grew bright. Her eyes grew bright. Her eyes grew bright. Her eyes grew bright, and fresh tears flowed from her eyes. And fresh tears flowed from her eyes, reddening them due to her sweet relationship with Krishna. Due to her sweet relationship with Krishna. Her eyes were enthusiastic. Her eyes were enthusiastic. Her eyes were enthusiastic. And when her crying subsided, she appeared even more beautiful. She appeared even more beautiful. Oh, Krishna. Oh. All glories to Radha's love for Sri Krishna. All glories to Radha's love for Krishna. Look at it. See? It's on the faces of many devotees here now. Radha's love for Krishna. That's our disciplic mind, man. Isn't it unique? Isn't it amazing? Where do you see this? That's why people, devotees can't believe it. No, it can't be. Yeah, it is. The devotees, you can tell these are the qualities of Radha's love for Krishna. It seems like Radha's in the hearts of some devotees here, Their eyes grow enthusiastic when Krishna blocks their way and fresh tears flow from their eyes. See, this was Rupa Goswami's experience. Radha was dancing within his heart, man. And if you can relate, you think, well, yeah, man. I think there's some rasa dance going on in here. Radha's blocking Krishna's way, and fresh tears are flowing from her eyes, and they're coming out of my eyes. And why? What's going on here, man? What's going on? Some great mystery. All glories to Radha's love for Krishna. That's it. At the end of Nandi Slokas. Oh, no. One more. Although Radha's love for Krishna, the enemy of the demon Mora, although it is all pervading, all glories to Radha's love for Krishna, the enemy of the demon Mora. Although it is all pervading, it tends to increase at every moment. Although it is important, it is devoid of pride. And although it is pure, it is always beset with duplicity. Yeah. And this is the style, this is the qualities of chanting, if you notice. Lord Chaitanya said in the Shashastika prayers, chanting opens the white lotus of good fortune, ever increasing. There's more good fortune, more good fortune, more good fortune. See, when you come to the ecstatic stage, you break through the atmosphere of the world. Like some of the devotees here. There she is. Oh, good, she's on her feet now. All right, she's feeling better. She's got all the antibodies now. She's a conqueror. Yeah. Sutadhara, enough with all these words, looking about. How is it that the great circle of saintly people gathering in the moonlight of my Nandi slokas, people glistening in the moonlight of my Nandi slokas. See, people glistening. Isn't that beautiful? Isn't that the way it is? Chanting these verses, man, the devotees are glistening in the moonlight of these slokas. See, they cause an inner awakening, not an effulgence from outside, but from inside. Glistening in the moonlight, cools the modes of nature. Just cools them right down. How is it that a great circle of saintly people glistening in the moonlight of the Nandi slokas? Yeah. See, saintly people who glisten. This is the liberated stage. See? You become a saint because the Lord lives inside you, the saint, the real saint. He wants to make all saints. He wants to liberate souls, man. When he lives inside you, anything is possible. Yeah, and then otherwise, there's no good fortune in this world. Without attraction to Krishna, everything is ill fortune, misfortune, inauspicious. There's nothing, with Krishna and attraction to Krishna, when our soul is awakened, then it's the beginning of our auspicious life. And people that just bump into you, their life becomes auspicious just seeing the devotees. Because they've never seen anything auspicious in this world, usually. Well, you know, more or less, somehow, just going to church is auspicious because it's the place of Christ. See, the place. There's the place and the person. Vishnu temples. Only places of transcendence, portals, that's auspicious. Everything else isn't. Everything you see on the TV, unless it's a, biography of Christ or something, is more or less inauspicious. The whole world now is totally, it's just, not the whole world, but, the leaders and the ones they're influencing are just becoming so degraded, just becoming really weird, all this gender stuff. Isn't that pretty? It's just all inauspicious, all this puberty blockers and, weird stuff coming down, and pointing, all kinds of, like really emphasizing homosexual. Homosexuals always been here, but emphasize every movie they got the main characters are usually homosexuals now. And they're saying, they want everybody same sex. See, it's not weird stuff, man. Weird. Dystopian, they say dystopian future. They want to make a dystopian future. These modes. This way is so inauspicious. The Lord's Maya is getting strange. And in a sense, it's good because, after a while, people think, maybe I should turn to God. That's the most auspicious thought you can have. When things get so strange, in this world. Can you imagine in only 1 year this all happened? That's only 1 year. Could you imagine what they have planned for the next year and the next year and the next year? See? So this hopefully will drive people back to God, because the Lord and the devotees are the only auspicious thing in this world. Glorification of the transcendental truth, beyond the modes of nature and all their mixtures, beyond liberation, bhakti, devotion, awakening, the only thing worthy in this world. Enough with all these words. Looking about. Alas, how is it that the great circle of saintly people glistening in the moonlight of my Nandi slokas, do you experience a glistening when you hear these Nandi slokas? Does it light your fire from within? If it doesn't, this is where you need to be. This is where it can be possible. Okay? Otherwise, if you notice, Vaishnavas on the Vaidhi platform, they don't glisten when they hear. They probably won't even listen. This is too high, they say. Well, you want something that's too high? You got to go where it is, and you're lifted up to it with an association of devotees, taking their association. It's pretty simple. Accepting the path of ecstatic love. It's here, man. It is so here. It is so here. It is so as it is. As it is. It's not just Bhagavad Gita here. It's as the Nandi slokas are here. Radha's love, all glories to Radha's love. Listening, the devotees glisten, because of hearing these topics. Okay? And that's the access point. The other ways, forget about it. That's why 500 years you hadn't seen this. 500 years. Yeah, because it has to be manifest. You have to have a devotee, right? See, the devotee there, they read these slokas. Those who hear and start to become purified and begin to like these recitations. They start to glisten in the moonlight of these slokas from Rupa Goswami. Okay? And if that's happening, there you go. There's your salvation, man, and beyond. Beyond salvation is a pure devotional service. Is simply this glistening experience when you hear, when it just awakens your heart and you feel, God is here, God is with me. Wow, this is my birthday. That's why we celebrate Vaishnavas' birthdays. It's their appearance day is when the Lord appears to them. Is the appearance day. Is their appearance day and the Lord's appearance day. It's simultaneous. Can you imagine having that happen every day, multiple times? I can't wait 1 year for the appearance day of Lord Chaitanya or Radha Krishna. It's too long. And when you start to feel it's too long, then he starts to come. So you come here, you'll feel that would be too long. Just too long. And then the Lord will say, well, it's been about time. I've been waiting for you for wanting my appearance more than once a year. And then all you get is a ceremony and a big feast that would get you a bellyache. You ever gone to one of those big feasts when you eat like everything and you eat the big feast every day and you stay slim. Looking again. Oh, wait a second. Sutadhara, enough with all these words. Looking about, alas, how is it that the great circle of saintly people glistening in the moonlight of my Nandi slokas, now trembles with ecstatic love at the foot of Nandishwar Hill? Isn't that amazing? Because you imagine they were experiencing these things then, trembling with ecstatic love. Oh, where has that gone? Where is that now? Because that's the place, man. See, that's where the devotee Bhagavats are. See, they're the experience of what we're reading in the book. He was a devotee Bhagavat, and he wrote that in a book. So where is that, again, manifest? See, the book was there and the devotee was there. He was writing about his experiences. And the greatest experience in the universe, this kind of writing impresses even the greatest demigods in the heavens. It's even beyond what they can even, write or compose. We have it here. And the only possibility of attraction is with the devotees who are reciting these verses, because of ecstatic love, and realization. Yeah, and then people are raised from the mundane platform all the way up there, simply by association. People don't know the power of association. It's all by association. We're in this predicament because of association with the modes of natures. Is brought the soul to become wrapped in this cocoon of the modes of nature, and the only way out is by association. This is why the idea of teachers, you get this teacher and that teacher, and hopefully they're a little better than the others, a little better mode, a little higher mode, and you get purified in the modes from passion to a little more goodness and more goodness. Very slow though. Can you imagine? Just what are you going to get here with this association? It's like taking the elevator. You go from, whereas you would usually have to have thousands of teachers, millions of lifetimes. Here, by this, right up the elevator, all the way to the Empire State Building, top floor, who's up there? The goddess. What's on top of there is the goddess of liberty. See? Yeah, that's Radha, man. That's devotion. This is what you get, the goddess of liberty. Not just liberating you from some material thing, but from liberating you from all material things. See, this is the power of association. And this is why the Lord comes and his devotees come, to give this association where people can take the elevator up and see the goddess of liberty, the real one, not the one statue. The living one, awakened inside your heart, man, dancing with Krishna. That really brings things into focus, huh? Perspective. I didn't know this was so good here. Wow. I think we should start charging people $1 million for entrance. I think that's too cheap. Hey, why are you spending all that money? These gurus are spending all that money for Tony Robbins seminars. The gurus, the one guru in San Jose he spends all this money for. It's not his money. He's spending the money of his disciples for his rich Indian disciples to take Tony Robbins seminars so he can be a really good guru. Here we go. Poor gurus. But the good news for you guys, we're freeing the captives, and you're one of them. You're lucky I'm pointing you out. And anybody I single out becomes destroyed. And what happens? Then they're resurrected with bhakti. Because you can blame me all you want, but I'm telling you, there's a culprit behind this voice here. And anyone he singles out is very blessed. That's Siddhanta. Everyone Lord Chaitanya pointed out, he wouldn't name them, man. Became a pure devotee. And if he didn't mention anything, they just went on. If he didn't chastise them with the truth, just went on. And they, in their mundane life. Well, later on they got it, but not right away. We want a lot of gurus to get this because they got a lot of followers, and everybody can, we can do batch liberation. Batches. We need to do batches now. Prabhupada always said, shoot for the rhinoceros, the big game. Yeah, you see, these kinds of teachers, it's still mundane material. See, the Lord dresses us for success. See, that's the secret. His ecstasy dresses Rupa Goswami for, he was an ecstatic devotee. That ecstasy is being given here. Can you imagine? If you can listen to these verses here and you feel attraction, you feel this glistening, that means you got relation with these devotees in Vrindavan. And that's all it is. You come here and you start to like these talks, you like this vibration, this frequency, man. Then all of a sudden you're vibrating on the frequency of Vrindavan. That's why it's impossible to make it any other way. Why take such a long road when it's here now? Is that making any sense? You know, why take the long road when the short road is here? Just come here. It's like a guitar string, man. You know, you just automatically tune to the frequency of that string. See, the Vrindavan string, the Rupa Goswami string, the Krishnadas Kaviraj, they're all vibrating at a frequency, and we're vibrating like that here. You just come into this association, you start to vibrate. You know, all this other stuff is thrown off. All the identifications with this temporary reality, which is not very real at all. It's only real for a time. That's why they call it illusion. You know, you're an eternal. See, illusion is basically, hey man, you're an eternal person. And illusion is not to know that. Is to identify with this temporary world that's real for a time. And then you go again and create another, it's created for you, another reality. You know, they use this word simulation. And it's true. We're in a simulation. See, the modes are simulating things for us every lifetime. Okay. You want to get out of the simulation? Come here. This is eternally real. Okay. We'll just go on like this till the last breath in this body, and then go on like this forever. Where else is there to go for persons like us here? Yeah. Jesus taught the principle, what you bind on earth, you bind in spirit. Look at it. We're binding this relationship with Krishna here. Can you imagine? That's the problem. People can't imagine that. No, not possible. Yeah, that's possible. It is. It is here. That's why you got to be with the authorities. You got to listen to real authorities. You can see why Jesus was bold. You know, he knew he came with the kingdom. He knew Siddhantically, or for them theologically. Well, I know, we know, many of us know, Siddhantically, which is theologically, same thing. Okay? Theologically, Siddhantically. People come here, they will be easily liberated from the cycle of birth and death, and that is a big thing. That's why people are grateful when they get liberated. Here, which you bind on earth, you bind in spirit. People have already bound devotion here. Where are you going to go after that? Where do you want to go? Not back into the modes. Yeah. As the kingdom of God is within and at hand for the devotees, they just open their mouth and the kingdom appears. Isn't that amazing? Now that's the purport needed on those verses. Who the heck knows these things? Kingdom of God is within and at hand. For Jesus, all he did was pray and the Lord appeared. Oh, my son, here you are. Thank you. You call, the Lord becomes like your order carrier. Can you imagine ordering God? You open your mouth, you call Krishna, boom, there he is. If he appears in your heart, you're a spiritual master. You mastered the big spirit. Yeah. The great spirit in the American Indian terms. You just a little fragment of that and you mastered. Yes, you got that. You know that genie thing they talk. They always have that genie, movies and stuff. This is better. Can you imagine? You just rub the lamp. You rub your tongue. You light the fire. Light his fire. Hey, genie, Hare Krishna. Boom. Yes, master. What do you want? I just wanted to see you. But don't you want anything? No, I just want you. Yeah, that's pure devotional service. That's a devotee. But I can give you mystic powers. I can give you worlds to conquer. No, I just want to be with you. No. Just let's be together, man. Let's dance, man. Let's rock. Let's just spontaneously dance in this world and all worlds together forever. And what comes from that, we will just spontaneously do or not do. You know, this is what I've been waiting for so many lifetimes, is just to get together to know you. And I was bewildered by your Maya, going this way and that way, and to this person, that person, all in the Maya, looking for that. I was just searching for you. And now I got you. Stay in your bottle. I'll call you when I want you, when I need you. Okay. That's Krishna. Okay, whatever. You call me and I'll be there because I like being with you now. Hey, that's the secret, man. Krishna likes being with a lot of devotees here. So if you like being with them, that's your good fortune. If you don't like being with them, that's your misfortune. It's that simple. Hey, man, you don't like being with those who Krishna likes? Oh, that's not. It's good. Just come anyway, and you'll get purified of that inauspiciousness. It's an interesting conversation today. That's Vrindavan. Everything's spontaneous. I love it like that. So, again, looking about, and his hair's erect. His hair is erect. One devotee finds his body blossoming with joy. Can you relate to that? Have you experienced your body blossoming with joy? See? There you go. You're starting to vibrate. See? Can you imagine Tom getting this experience in any other way? You think he would have had this without this association? You'd be swept away by all your Mayavadi girlfriends. Instead, Krishna's sweeping you away from that. Sweeping you off your feet, which is your good fortune. Dancing his hair is erect, one devotee finds his body blossoming with joy, withered, and his face pale. Another devotee finds his heart broken. See, heartbroken, but that's an ecstatic experience to have. Can you imagine? People can't understand this. That's why you got to come here. It's completely, even Mayavadis. I have this friend like for 30 years. Another one, I have two of them. One's actually becoming more of a bhakti. The other one's still stuck in this Mayavadi thing. They can't understand these things. They think, oh, heartbroken. That's Maya. It's an illusion. No, when God breaks your heart, it breaks your heart open with more love, more bhakti. See, here in the world, the Maya breaks your heart. See, breaks that relationship. And then you're weakened by that. Here you're strengthened by. Can you imagine? This is why everything is auspicious. Your feelings, just like you have feelings here, you have feelings with God in relationship to the Lord, and they're strengthening, they're enlivening. You know, when Radha is crying in separation from Krishna, Rupa Goswami says, she still remains bright and beautiful, even more. This is that really, because Krishna's never really gone. It's just a play, transcendental play that goes on forever and liberates people. This is why we're connected to the Leela avatar. Lord Chaitanya, Radha, and Krishna, man. Leela avatar. See, we become part of those pastimes. Now we're part of those pastimes. We're liberating people simply by doing what they do best. What is that? Have fun. Transcendental fun. Can you imagine a path like that? This is going to be so attractive. People say, let's go to the carnival and get liberated. That group over there, they're a bunch of carnies. You heard the word carnies? We're carnies, man. We take the circus wherever we go. Krishna Vrindavan Circus, man. Place where you have a lot of fun, entertainment, man. It's exciting. We're taming tigers and lions here. Walking on tight ropes. Yeah. Entrance is free. Roaring, another devotee runs about. This is why this will be so attractive, man. You see devotees roaring in ecstasy. It's intense, man. It's hard for the body you can't contain it, man. This has to come out, man. It's just so much unlimited bliss, and you just can't take it all. It just has to spill out. See, it's all attraction. Krishna is all attractive, and when we tune to this vibration, it attracts living entities. People, after a while, look, some nice brahmacharis coming here with nice dhotis, chanting with us and rocking also, rocking and rolling. Now that's significant. That's what's going to move. You want to everybody that comes, they'll liberate their peers, that they associate with. If you're a brahmachari, you go liberate ISKCON out there. Say, oh wow, you're going there. So you got to be an example. You got to be a witness. Okay? That's why the Lord put his devotees in many different types of situations. See, he brought his devotees. They're all devotees. They had nothing to do with the Varnashram system. But he put them, some were sannyasis, some were sudras, some were beggars, some were like rich gentlemen, some were kings. Mars Pratipurja is a king. And they affected their people who were they associated with in their circles. Okay? So that's happening here. You will affect those that you go in your circle. So don't be afraid to go over to don't think, you be around. Let people know that in the circles you used to go into, let them know what you're doing now. Don't run away from it. We're here to preach. If you get and then your bounty will increase. More bhakti, more happiness. So nice. Falling, another devotee lies motionless. I was like that Rainey. She used to do, when she goes into a trance, she just on her back, man, just for the whole program. We'd be there. Everybody's there doing different things, different types of. I actually have a video somewhere on the You saw that one? She's laying on her back, and everybody's totally intoxicated, and they're just having this. It's like bizarre. It's amazing, They're all like drunk on God, And I was videoing the whole thing, It was very interesting. Somewhere on YouTube, maybe I'll find it sometime. Falling, another devotee lies motionless. What has happened to these peaceful devotees now? They are overcome with love for Lord Krishna. See, that's how it is, isn't it? You become overcome, overwhelmed. Krishna says, I have so many devotees, peaceful devotees, all reverent. Look at ISKCON, devoting their lives to Krishna, very peaceful, right? They're looking for peace. It's still hard to find. It's still hard to get sometimes. They got to struggle. They got to do disciplines. They got to do their regulative thing. It's a job, to get their peace. See? And so the Lord and his devotees, people become overwhelmed with this bhakti. Maybe it's this. Let's try this. Maybe it'll go away. Yeah, they become overwhelmed with bhakti, this devotion, and it's so wonderful. They lose their peace, and they become restless and excited. Right there, Christina, you get really excited sometimes, huh? Too excited. Yeah, go ahead. You want to say something? Yeah,
you can become very excited and running up and down like a mad woman, but you can also, when you receive a lot of bhakti, like when you've had a comparative with when you had a very good meal and you ate a lot, then you become very peaceful. You can also become very peaceful and just be blissful and just be. And there are different kinds, different lilas. Yeah, that's what I want to say.
Yeah, you can become, you have a good meal, you might just want to lay there drunk with bhakti. Too much wine. The new wine. Okay, so let's see. Peaceful, how they are overcome with love for Lord Krishna. So Krishna says, I have so many peaceful devotees, but that love is weak. It doesn't overwhelm me. See, Chaitanya Charitamrita, chapter 4. There's so many devotees like that, but it doesn't overwhelm me. So I'm going to come as Lord Chaitanya and show them my Vrindavan. See, show them the love that the residents have for me. I will become like a resident. I'll become like Radharani, my chief of my bhaktas. I'll become like her and show the world how they worship me there. Show the peaceful devotees that are, this is why you see how it works in stages. Prabhupada brought people to the peaceful, being peaceful because you're following rules, regulations, and you're worshiping Krishna. See? And now the next stage is go from that peaceful to be overwhelmed. See, that's Lord Chaitanya, that's why he came here, is so that people can have an overwhelming experience in worshiping God. Overwhelming. Okay? And that, as you get more overwhelmed, you see, I see the great secret you're revealing to me, your happiness. It's your being overwhelmed. You. Okay? And that is giving me great happiness that you're being overwhelmed. That is my liberation, is to serve your happiness. See, the happiness of God, that's Vrindavan. Yeah, I was, to me, I was like flabbergasted, as, just keep worshiping the Lord in ecstasy, and it just is all revealed. It's like you just become a Vrindavan resident. You relate to them. Yeah, Lord, that makes perfect sense. I totally understand. Your happiness is their happiness because it's my happiness now. That's ecstatic love. You can't have that experience. You got to be it. You got to become a resident by the purification, by worship, by being overwhelmed by Krishna's love for a long time. Not so long here. It's like sometimes days. Usually, when you become ecstatic, a while, maybe a year, and then you start to see, wow, this actually, I think it's all accelerating now. And you get it like shortly, and you become a Vrindavan resident. You become like them. You realize it's all about Krishna's happiness because his happiness is your happiness, and there's no greater happiness than his happiness. Seems like a complete contradiction. How can that be? Well, you have to experience that. You have to come into the association of such devotees, and very quickly you will experience the Vrindavan mood, and then you can be there. You can go there because you understand. When you see Krishna, you become overwhelmed by love for Krishna. And that has to start here, man. Seeing Krishna means you hear him. You hear his name to the point of being overwhelmed by bhakti. See, that's the truth, man. That's the association devotees need now. Doesn't that make sense? Any Uvaiti bhaktas that are got peace, don't you want to be overwhelmed by Krishna? This is available now. It's on the shelf. We're marketing this, man. We're marketing this. Okay? The only by association can you purchase it. Otherwise, you don't associate. You'll just remain peaceful, maybe. I don't know how you can be peaceful in this world without this kind of bhakti. I couldn't. That's why even the gurus are becoming afraid. Look at it. They're afraid the corona is going to get them. Oh, let me go get the shot and let me show all my thousands of followers that I'm doing that. Can you imagine? So when you say, that is definitely the mark of the beast. The mark of the beast is these bestial persons, man. They're beasts. They're lying and cheating. The mark of the beast. See? Beasts they don't care. They have psychopaths. They have no empathy. You're just like an ant to them. They're depopulating the world now. If Georgia Guidestones, you read them, man. They want to get down the population to 500 million. That's a lot of reduction, you notice. Why do you think it's chemtrails everywhere? You notice chemtrails everywhere now. Every other day, there's millions of dollars of taxpayers' money going into that. We're paying for our destruction. Can you imagine that? People are paying for their own demise, and all these billions being invested in these shots, paying for their own demise and being lied to and deceived. So the Lord's had enough. Are you ready to take shelter, the devotees? Otherwise, you'll be taken out. Yeah, it's really true. Krishna Das Kaviraj showed the heart, the mind of the Lord. If Radha and Krishna did not descend to this world, it would be useless. Well, Radha and Krishna have descended again in this bhakti, in this kind of worship. And everything else is useless, really. Especially when this is available. That's why this is the only thing really available of any merit. in this world, because everything is so weak. If you're just in religion, it ain't enough. Look at the religious leaders and Christians, Muslims, and Vaishnavas. The religious leaders are buckling. I saw one poor lady, the lady who bought this motorhome, this travel trailer. Nice Christian, but all masked up and afraid. See, it's not strong enough. You need the association of devotees, man, with this, that are overwhelmed with love of Krishna. See, they have the power because the Lord is the power. See, he's the shelter, and he comes through. He wants to give shelter through his devotees. That's how he does it. Otherwise, you don't see, these others are fakes. You know, they're saying, yeah, we'll give you shelter. Take the shot. Believe me. Believe my word. You know, when they're getting all of these, the reason I'm saying I'm not really being political, I'm just talking about Maya Tattva now, how she works practically in the world. It's not a political subject. It's a transcendental subject. You got to know. The way Maya works is getting all these movie stars. And this movie star just came right out. He was revealing it. It was funny, actually. The guy comes out and says, well, they told me, Maya, the one servants of Maya, they told me, well, people trust you. Therefore, we would like to use you to get them, encourage them, all your followers, to take the shot. Because you're famous, and people trust famous people. I was thinking logically about that. This is what Krishna gives me. He gives me a brain, man. He gives me some logical, a way to think about this. And I'm looking at that guy, and then say, people trust you. I says, how can I trust you anyway? First of all, just because you're a movie star? I don't even know you. Why would I trust somebody I don't even know? How do I know you're not just an adrenochrome drinker? This is the thing. People trust the Maya, and this is the problem. And so the call out now is like, hey, man, you going to continue trusting Maya and illusion? You people that have material motives, and that goes for religion. Who knows, are these gurus being paid off? Who knows? Do you know? Who knows? Maybe they're being threatened that, hey, listen, we'll shut your temple down if you don't comply. Or maybe they're just in fear, and then they do like the masses. Shows you unqualified gurus, man. They're like the masses. That's why they're no better than their own disciples. Many of them. They see they get a little knowledge in the memorization, and they become guru. You're not a guru until you've transcended the modes of nature in our line. Really. And now's the time. Hey, man, you got to lead people in transcendence. Otherwise, where are you going to lead them? To the enemy. The enemy is the Maya. Here we lead people away from the enemy to our friend. See, Krishna is our friend. Krishna wants to protect us. You listen to this word here, you'll be protected because Krishna protects me. He's giving me this understanding. See, the verse, I believe these books of Prabhupada. A lot of people, they think, they believe in Prabhupada's books. I think the devotees here believe in Prabhupada's books more because I believe in those verses. Bhagavad Gita 10:10, to those who worship me with loving ecstasy. And that's what you're seeing here every day, that kind of loving ecstasy, overwhelming loving ecstasy. I give them the understanding. I give them real knowledge. Well, that's what he's given me, and that's what I'm sharing with the world and with you and with anybody who will listen. You listen to this knowledge, that's guru. You got to find a guru that has this relationship. It's transcendental. It's real. It's eternal. Yeah, you listen to those persons. They lead you out of the Maya into transcendental Goloka Vrindavan, into the spiritual world. In this world, you get that world. It opens up inside you. And then you have the light that the devotees in the spiritual world have, the light that shines from within. What do you think you see here every day? It's the light that shines from within. It illuminates the darkness in the heart and purifies it. The darkness in the heart is ignorance, ignorant ideas, following ignorant people, believing in those who are actually servants of illusion. See, this is darkness in the heart, and the word of the devotees who are protected by this ecstatic worship and have the real understanding is the only real light in the world. That's what Jesus meant when he said, while I'm in this world, I'm the light of the world. The devotee is the light because of this relationship. See, they're awakened to this relationship. And the Lord informs them and they inform you. There's Guru Dev, man. Who has such a guru? If you don't, you're bumbling in the darkness still. And there's no time for this gradual thing. You want out? Opportunity is here. Preaching is here. We're preaching what the Lord informs us from this ecstatic relationship. Like as per the formula in Bhagavad Gita 10:10. So if anybody's got an intelligence, you listen here, because we repeat this over so many times in so many different ways until people get it, because this is the essence of the truth. See, that's why Jesus said, when Philip was looking, where, Jesus said, well, Philip, you know the way. That was a lead-in for a good teaching. And he's looking, Philip is not awakened yet. He didn't get the Spirit, so he didn't understand these things. The Spirit is outside him right now in the form of Jesus. And Jesus is teaching him. See? He's giving transcendental knowledge. Philip, you know the way. Where's the way, Lord? You're going, but where is the way? Where's the way? He said, I'm the way. You're looking at the way. You're looking at the place. You're looking at the word. You're hearing the word because you're looking in this direction. You're looking at the loudspeaker. And he was a loudspeaker, man. All devotees get a loud voice. Roaring voice. Like a train. You become like a train wrecked. Train runs over you from the voice. I'm the way, he said. See, he's the way. He's the truth. Truth is light. Not just, that light is not enough, to go into the light. I just, this new age thing ain't enough. Ain't true enough. Don't want to go into the light. I want to go into the light. No, not true enough. That's just the Lord's effulgence. It hides his true nature. Hey, when Jesus said, I'm the truth. Hey, that truth is, hey man, you come to me and I'll teach you, awaken you to that relationship. He was a living person. He put that in the hands of his real followers who still didn't get it clear enough. And that's why Lord Chaitanya came to make it even more clear of our responsibility, once we're awakened, to wake others up with the truth. You will become like this. You will declare it. And these bogus gurus, and I'll just say it because they ain't any time. Bogus gurus can't do it. Because one of the Pada Ali comes up to them and says, hey, you guys, are you trying to be like Jesus? Oh, no, we would never be like Jesus. Well, you better be like Jesus. Otherwise, step aside, man. You got to be a son of God, man. The Lord has to speak to you for people to be delivered. And that's just how it is, man. Otherwise, how can people be delivered? That's conclusive. Not that you be Jesus, you have to be like him in your personal relationship with God. In our line, it's Krishna. And if you can't declare it when you're asked, or even unasked, then what kind of leader are you? What kind of liberated soul are you? How can people have confidence in you? You don't even have confidence in yourself. That's why you're up lining up for the shot and being illusioned out. You little wimps, man. Whippersnappers, imitators, imposters. How dare you try to imitate the exalted position of a deliverer of disciples? How dare you have them? Oh, Gurudev, give me mercy. What mercy you got, man? You got any potency? Is God really speaking through you? Can people see it? And if they can't, they're probably listening to people like you, right? That's the problem. They can't see it. That's why we do better with Christina. She never listened to any of these guys. Therefore, when she found the path, she just jumped on the horse and rode it. And boy, was she right. She was riding, bucking all over the place, dancing around. Go ahead there, Christina. Let's hear
I
something.
like wild horses to ride.
You like wild horses. You're a wild horse, man.
Yeah.
We have two beauty queens here. They're runners up. It's hard to tell. Two ecstatic devotees there. Which one is more beautiful? So we're going to have to take a thing. Is it Lolita or Christina now? Which one? They're runners up. Yeah, it's hard to tell now. We're going to have beauty contests. After a while, Tom will get in there. We'll have to see which one between Tom, Christina, and Lolita. We might have a tie. May have a tie. Probably end up in a tie.
Guru, Lalita's eyes today were so beautiful. They were like bright, shining stars.
Yeah.
Really. It was the light from the Lord emanating from her eyes. It was so beautiful. Really. And yeah, it's true. I saw like big stars, man. Even if they were closed, the energy was coming out. It was very beautiful to see. And like you also just said, Guru, those who are blind cannot see the light. That's also, when you don't have an empowered guru who makes you see through the eyes of Krishna, how can you see at all? Yeah.
It's always been that way, hasn't it? It's always been, like Jesus, he was speaking to the parables. He said, people see and they don't see. They hear, but they don't hear because they're not awakened. Their soul is not awakened. Isaiah said the same thing. He was awakened. Jesus was awakened, and he's preaching to millions, like that are not awakened yet. It's just like, and Lord Chaitanya too. He was going around Navadvip, and most couldn't recognize him. And that's the same thing here. It comes with the territory. And those that the Lord wants to draw and to awaken, they come. Why not? Why wouldn't you come here? The people, they come into life looking for this. And some are ready to look at this, So, and if you're not, then you just continue looking at the illusion till you're ready. Could be this life, could be another life, But we go on preaching. Why not? We're here to draw who's meant to be drawn. Yeah, this is all just great. Okay, let's see what else we can dive into here. So, thinking for a moment, now that they are overcome with love for Krishna, thinking for a moment, I know the reason. They have become wild by drinking the Kadamba nectar of spiritual love. And that's what it's all about, man. You know, can you imagine 500 years ago, there was Rupa Goswami composing these verses, talking about it's all about being overwhelmed with spiritual love. The Kadamba nectar, see, it's Kadamba nectar is intoxicating nectar of this spiritual love. It's so unique, it's so wonderful. It's the brew of brews. Okay? This is better than the nectar of the gods. You know, they have all kinds of intoxicating nectar, but it's all material. This is spiritual. You know, tasting this nectar dissolves our material entanglement, frees the soul from samsara. This is why, you know, Buddhism, everything, all, you know, why would you be a Buddhist when this is available? You know, Buddhism, they preach this. It's like the same thing, even Vaishnavism. You can tell when it's still a little bit weak or a lot weak, different grades of weakness. See, the Buddhists say after many lifetimes you can get nirvana, and that's this Brahman thing. After many lifetimes, and it's true with them, with that teaching. And then you got from the Vaishnava teaching came up to this point, after many lifetimes you get prema. There's still some weakness there in the teaching, in the potency, in the message, in the order of the Lord and the parampara, still some weakness. But look at the strength here. People, to taste this nectar of spiritual love is the ultimate. It's this nectar, this being overwhelmed with Krishna love for Krishna. That's it. This has the strength to do everything. Okay? It liberates you beyond salvation. You know, the Christians, there's oneness, salvation, oneness, salvation. That's their message. Jesus even said, if you believe in me, all your sins will be forgiven. But that's the beginning, salvation. The expiry of the sins make us miserable. See, that you get salvation. But look at the salvation that's the Vaishnavas have, the real ones. This spiritual love dissolves everything, all sins and everything. You get a better boon than salvation. You don't even think about it. You know, liberated every day, just relishing the glories of the truth and liberating others at the same time. That's the preaching Lord Chaitanya and his devotees did 550 years ago, and we're doing that now. Who else is preaching like that? Who else is liberating people by liberating themselves, experiencing love of God and the overwhelmingness of love of God, and liberating people at the same time? See? That's the style, this kind of teaching in the Gaudiya Vaishnava, when it's perfect. See? And then all that happens is you become more perfect and more perfect and more perfect forever. See? This is the perfect teaching, is to relish, love, the spiritual love, chanting Krishna's name, associating with Krishna in these various forms. See, forms, varieties of forms, the pastimes and the names and the qualities of, you know, coming through authorized representatives like Rupa Goswami and Krishnadas Kaviraj. See, associating with this is real. This is reality. Okay? Hari Katha, Sadhu Sangas is reality. It's a spiritual world coming through sound, vibration, and frequency. Why do you think the people go to talks? They go to change their frequency. They go to seminars and talks because they're suffering because they're in ignorance. See, and so their suffering is taken away, more or less. Different types of teachers and teachings, changing your vibration. They want an altering experience, coming away from their misery. Well, this is all in one solution, man. This takes you all the way. This takes you to home base. Ecstatic union with God. There's nothing beyond that other than going deeper into it. It's always expanding. Love for Krishna is always expanding. Look at this verse. When love develops in the heart of a devotee, he cannot check the transformations of his sentiments. His heart is just like an ocean at the rising of the moon. When the ebb and tide cannot be checked, immediately there must be movement of high waves. Can you relate to that, anybody? See, head shaking. Can you relate to that? Relate means, yeah, that's how it is. There you go. You got that love. And if you're thinking, boy, that would be me, that's so high, but I wonder what that's like. Well, there you go. You're not liberated yet like that. See, you come here, you start to get personal experience of this love. This is the vibration here. This is the frequency. This is the happiness. The devotees, they like to be what they're in relationship with, right? The devotees are in relationship with this kind of glorification. They like to hear it. They like to be, I used to go to these Christian churches, and usually the black variety ones, the holy rollers, they're really gospel, and they have a real wild preaching. I love it, man. And sitting in this one guy went, Mary Sachi was with me too. We used to go to this church, black church, and the preacher be preaching away, and you got the guys in the very casual. People, it's not like they sit like that. They just feel the spirit. They speak out, and they go, "That's right, man. That's right." What he says, "That's right. That's right." If you're not doing that when we're talking Harikatha here, that's right. That's right in your heart, at least. Then you don't relate yet. If you're hearing this preaching and go, that guy's a sahaja. You're missing it. You're missing the point. See, relationship. If you like this glorification, then you can relate. So, roaring another devotee fellow. Okay, yeah. So they have become wild by drinking the Kandamba nectar of spiritual love for Krishna. Lord Chaitanya told Nityananda, and we got the same order actually. Lord Chaitanya, and that's what Prabhupada basically said to me, the same thing. Listen, hear this. Lord Krishna, Nityananda was walking around like a wise sage, but didn't say anything, like the super soul, just observing everything. Wasn't showing his ecstasy much. Wasn't preaching anything. And the Lord Chaitanya said that, hey, listen, if you don't act a little more wild in this world, then how are we going to accomplish our mission? If you don't show externally, see, the Vaishnava now, externally, no, keep it inside. Sorry, we got the order. If you don't act a little more wildly, how are we going to accomplish our mission of spreading spontaneous devotee? People don't see it. They don't know it exists. It doesn't exist for them. They got to show them the nectar of being overwhelmed with spiritual love. Act a little more wild because of relishing mellows externally. Express yourself, Nityananda. Show people who you really are. Don't we like to? I mean, even in the world, don't people feel better when they're able to be themselves? Right? Even on the material level, hey man, look at my false ego, man. I'm just like this. I'm all screwed up, man. I'm a, this way or that way, whatever way you are. Look at me. I'm a positive thinker, this or that, or just express yourself, or I'm just, people, they respect that, right? Wow, the person's being their self. They're being the false ego still. But can you imagine a devotee who has realized their devotional position, being themselves in this world? Oh my God, what a trip. That's why Prabhupada started to feel better when he was expressing himself more. He didn't fully do it, but he felt a lot better. Because even in religion, they were trying to repress him and depress him, by all these rules, regulations, and all that stuff. Yeah, so the Prabhupada came to me and said basically the same thing, man. Hey, man, you've been relishing this bhakti in the closet long enough now. Now share it with people. Make them happy. Make yourself more happy and make them more happy. You be uplifted and they'll be uplifted at the same time. Just show them you're eating a feast. Don't just eat it in the closet like I did. Yeah, he was, it was, that's why, these two devotees, they burst into his room when he was chanting in ecstasy, like you see here every day, devotees chanting in ecstasy, and they started to become ecstatic. There you go, that's the path Lord Chaitanya taught. Then they left the room, and it didn't happen again for their whole lives. See? And Prabhupada didn't make any comments on it. Wasn't time. See? But we make plenty of comments on it. Then people know its value. Hey, man, you should be going in that room every day. Well, we open the room every day here. This is a room, isn't it? See, the door is open there. Just turn your camera on and see that. And when you see it enough and desire to have it, you're on the path of Raganuga Bhakti. That's the way Lord Vishwanath Chakravarti taught. In Ragvartma Chandrika, the only qualification is you see the devotees in ecstatic worship, that's the Vrindavan worship, and you think, oh, I would like to do that too. Let me associate with those devotees and get this ability, because that's the only way you're going to get it. Can you imagine devotees go 40 years and never heard this, never heard the real path that gets you there in this life? They never heard it. Prabhupada didn't preach it. He taught it in his books. See, taught it, but didn't preach it. That's why you got to hear the message. Whatever comes from the mouth, whatever falls from the mouth of the empowered representative of Krishna is what you get. What you see is what you get. What you hear, more even, is what you get. You notice? You see it here and you hear it here. This is what you're going to get. Overwhelmed with spiritual love of Krishna. That is the only result of our preaching here. And if you're good with that, great. If you want a position, you'll get some little energy and then you'll go off somewhere and become a big teacher. And Krishna will say, oh yeah, go ahead, become a big teacher like these other gurus amongst neophytes. And they'll all, hey, whoa, our Guru Dave is so great. Yeah, what's his great? Well, we don't know, he's just part of the club, part of the guru club out there. All the clerks in the GBC got together and voted them Guru Dave of the year. Oh boy. Krishna, stop making me so insulting. It's his fault. That's cute though, isn't it? Guru Dave of the year. You know, there's a lot of things Vaishnavas, they talk about this. There's always been this rush to be a successor of Prabhupada. You know, there's so many so-called success. Oh, Jayapataka, he's a successor of Prabhupada. No, Radhanath is a successor. Oh, no, Narayan Raj is a successor. But we have a real definition of successor. Successor means success, right? The greatest success, see, the ones who in bhakti yoga, in Krishna consciousness, that have the greatest success are the successors. See? So what is the greatest success in Krishna consciousness? Now, isn't it, you guys out there, anybody listening, just listen to this and see what you think. Really look at this logically. The greatest success in our Krishna conscious movement would be the awakening of love of God, right? Because that's the highest success, is spontaneous love of God. If you are a successor of Prabhupada and you can do that, you've just set a whole new standard.
And you make successors. You make new successors.
Make new, yeah. So if anybody has a lower standard, why would you do that one? If you can't have the success of awakening love of God in your Vaishnavas and helping them make quick progress to that, then you're not as great. You're not a real successor of Prabhupada yet. That is the successor, is the one who can take you to the next stage. See, that's Acharya. They do a special contribution to the disciplic life. That was Prabhupada's word. See, not just a guru helping people to follow rules and ceremonies and start, but now the successor has to have the greatest success, and the greatest success here is the awakening the love of God. So isn't that a successor of Prabhupada? The greatest standard? Now, if you have anybody else doing that, there's another real successor. But if not, then this is the real successorship. I'm just talking logically, because if I'm looking at that standard too, if that's not here, I'll just leave. I will never say that Gaur Haridas is successor unless this kind of success is visible in our preaching, and it is. So the successorship is here. Okay. So bottom line is, like a lot of people say, Narayan Raj is the successor of Prabhupada. Yeah, well, did he have this standard of success? Just logical. Nothing to do with criticizing him or anybody else. Does Radhanath have this success of making devotees ecstatic as you guys? New people even? Yeah. Does Jayapataka have this success? Does anyone, Govinda Maharaj, have this success? So everybody, or even that Prem Paroshan, does he have that success? So people, just ask your question. Go look around. Look around in those sanghas. You see people with ecstatic love of God, those who are overwhelmed with the kandamba nectar of love of Krishna that makes you cry, makes you laugh, makes you roar like a lion sometimes because of being just too much bliss in your body, showing that Krishna is alive and well and healthy in you. Spirit is awakened, and the Lord is with you. It's true. He's not like, well, the Lord is with me, but I don't know where he is. He's kind of dormant in there somewhere. At least a lot of times these Mayavadis, a false ego, when they hear this preaching. What's there any different from you? God is in me too, just like he's in you. Yeah. But what kind of condition is he in you, in this person here? Is he you in this real transcendental relationship, or is he just dormant? See, that's ignorance. People think that's the false ego. That's the competitive one. And that goes for the Vaishnavas too. There's a bunch of gurus out there, right? Gaur Haridas, even without a dhoti, they call him guru. They call him Parma. Can you imagine calling this guy here with this t-shirt on or this sweatshirt Paramahamsa, Bhaktivedanta, his divine grace. Oh my God. These exalted gurus in ISKCON would be doing backflips, and they probably are, with aghast. Oh, how dare they take. But why are they doing this? Saying this? Well, it's just I'm nothing special. Hey, but what's inside is special, man. Inside, man, there's a living God, man, working inside me. I love it, man. This is my only life and soul. I'm just a servant of that Lord and his servants, man. I'm the servant of all these gurus I named. I'm here to serve them. Even though they misunderstand everything I'm saying, they think I'm their enemy. Okay? And you guys getting that same Lord awakened in you. That's why we're developing a powerful army of liberated souls, man, where the Lord is living inside you. We're going to work together like teamwork. See, that's the way Lord worked. He assembled a team of those he worked through and as. See, they work together, and we're working together too. You get out there, do nice videos, share your love, show people, show now. Show them this love of Krishna, man. Tom getting on his guitar there, singing, sharing his truth and his journey. People love this. They need this. They want this. You got to stand, even though they may chide you for it for a while, throw tomatoes at you, but they really want it. They're just testing. The Lord is testing. Immediately there must be movements of high waves, although in its natural state, the ocean always gave and unfathomable is always grave and unfathomable. When the moon rises, nothing can check the ocean's agitation. Similarly, see, when that moon rises, that moon is Krishna. Isn't it? Then when the moon rises, see, when the moon rises in the world, emotions, you ever heard that? The emotions arise also in people. People become mad, actually. There's more crazy things that happen because people go a little bit crazy. Not everybody, but some, they get wild. Well, that's what happens. See, the moon, that's representing externally the mundane representation of what happens to a devotee. The moon of Krishna rises in them. It shines. See, and the emotions rise. See, this is love of God. See, and that moon shines, and that shining is what helps the world, helps the universe. See, it's the helper coming out, and ultimately that helper goes in them and works in them also. It is so wonderful to be helped by God, man. It's like having that genie in there, man, just helping you in all ways. People will eventually see the sincerity more and more. This is sadhu sangha, man. This is these talks every day, 2 to 4 hours a day, just that's one session only. And then more chanting and more purification. This is all purifying the universe. If there's any possibility to reverse what's happening now, this is it. This kind of worship. Devotees calling out in ecstasy. They need to bring the Lord here in that way. That's why a lot of Christians they don't understand how to draw the Lord real powerfully here. They're still talking, their voices even. They're still material, like material Christians, a lot of them still. They believe in Jesus, they believe in God, but they need some help, man. They need to learn about transcendental metals. When they do, if they're ever open to it, or whoever is, then they'll get more power in their worship and draw the Lord here. And it'll protect them first, and then the ones they're preaching to who believe in their words, which are actually the Lord's words. It's got to be like that, man. You got to be like Jesus, not an imitator, not an imposter, just like some people trying to be like Prabhupada, but they try to imitate him. They like his voice and all this stuff and his gravity and all this. This Prabhupada was like this. Imitation. No. You got to be like. See? In other words, just like Krishna used Prabhupada, Krishna has to be using you. And you'll see the same quality. See, be like means like-minded. See? And in attunement. See, same Lord works through Prabhupada, Bhaktisiddhanta, Bhaktivinoda, and the real successor. See? Promoting success to others who listen. Isn't that what it's all about? Be successful. You come here, you'll be successful in the greatest achievement. Better than you can get with Tony Robbins. It's still mundane. Nice guy, but you can go further. The best achievement is love of Krishna, man. To get that genie, man, not only do you get 3 wishes, you get unlimited wishes. See, unlimited well-wishing for others. That's the greatest happiness of devotees, man. Being a well-wisher for others. See, the Lord is doing it through you. Giving you that potency to do that. To be the well-wisher for others, man. See? Okay. Probably go on forever with that, but it's that was fun. So what do you guys got to say? I hogged the whole show mostly here, so sorry about that.
It's your show, Guru Maharaj.
No, it isn't. This is teamwork here. Sometimes I show, sometimes you guys show. So what do you have to say, Christina? Give us a report.
Oh, yeah, wow. It was beautiful to listen to you, to Krishna talking through you, and to hear these transcendental vibrations, these purifying vibrations, and all these beautiful truth, really. Especially that one verse from the love and the tide and the moon. Wow, very beautiful. When you were talking about like God, and yesterday I wrote about that something. If one cannot be like God, wrote, which means that when God is not living or is not alive, I mean, in your heart, when you don't have the relationship with the Lord in your heart, then you cannot be like God, like you used the word, just like-minded, in tune. And I was writing about that yesterday. And then I wrote that if one cannot be like-minded, not like God, like-minded, then God does not really like you, not really, because there is no relationship. Then he's not attracted. Yeah, I wrote more, but I'm not going.
It's like birds of a feather flock together.
Yeah. Yeah. And yeah, what else did I write? You know, not too much for now. But I was
Yeah.
just I remembered when you used the word, I remembered that I was writing about it. I just thank you very much for this beautiful lecture and for that I could be with you here. I'm not really totally recovered, so I'm going to, even though I would love to read, but even though I might watch my body a bit, and I'm going to
Yeah,
take a
yeah.
steam thing and rest. And
Oh, that's great. Yeah,
um,
yeah, 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 yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, do
thank
that.
you,
Sure, you're
thank
welcome.
you.
That's good. I'm glad you're getting healthier. So just take it easy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
thanks.
Okay, so we got it says why is it happening depopulation? Well, obviously it's Krishna's reducing the population. People think the demons are doing it. Well, they're just the instruments. Everybody's an instrument. And this is happening now. And the revelation I'm getting is it's the Lord is just thinning the herd. It's like, hey man, um, um, what good is it to have a bunch of people here that are materialists if they're not, unless they want to turn back into their spiritual nature and come back to Him, because it's just it's like, when He was here, the demons were um, really strong in this world. They're very strong, and they were upsetting the population. They people couldn't progress, and they were disturbing the progression. Same thing here now, and the demon, the people, they're influenced by these demoniac persons, and they're, unless they turn to the Lord, they're just being taken out. Otherwise it's like, and it's kind of like in the minds of these demons. You know what they're thinking? Well, this is what I've been ascertaining from research here. They're just thinking, what good are you? You just, you're here enjoying the world. You notice that a lot of the material enjoyers, they just live a mundane life, not even interested in progressing in it at all. And we're at a time, it's like this is a harvest time, so, and people can turn if they want. So the Lord kind of people grow through crisis. So that's why the preaching now, I'm getting more like bold, just putting it like it is out, because it's time. Yeah, it's time to make a choice, make a decision. You want to take shelter of the spiritual energy of devotees here that are teaching about God in some form, that really deeply, or do you want to just listen to the Faucis and Bill Gates and the servants of Maya taking you out? That's what I'm seeing. Yeah. What do you guys think? What do you think, Lolita?
I have no idea about this working. I just trust Krishna more and more because I feel his protection personally
Uh-huh.
so many times, and I trust him completely, but I don't have a complete picture um,
Mhm.
because of language and because all those videos that we have seen, I can't understand them. I can't understand the language.
You're probably better off. Yeah, they don't have to
It
worry
would
about
be better in my language, of course, but I can't understand this accent, another accent,
it.
all
Yeah,
words that I never heard. How
yeah.
can I find those words if I don't know how to write them? I
Just,
can't find them on.
just stay with Krishna. I think this is the best idea for you.
Yeah,
Save you a lot of
I'm so
trouble.
simple and
Yeah,
retarded.
you got your work cut out with Balaram over there.
I'm working on.
What about you, Tom? What do you think?
I think Krishna, he plays. He's the supreme player. So if you say, for instance, he is testing us. He has a lot of players with him, a lot of people at this moment. They're also testing. So he's the supreme tester. He's the supreme player, and he's bringing all of this. He is he's the supreme controller, and so we are very fortunate, and very fortunate movement.
Yeah, protection's here. We got so much protection, and that's it's like you're not even thinking about it, but the Lord just gives you gives you the right mind, the right understanding. The real thing, how to sidestep is how is Maya's working. I like the way it's practical. Krishna is very practical. That's why Prabhupada was practical. Bhaktisiddhanta, they're just naturally practical because they're in tune with the Lord. So you become you get practical understanding. See, practical practice, something you can practice in this world that is actually helpful. Yeah, and it's something useful, practical. That's why this preaching is very practical. Yeah, go ahead, Tom.
I was thinking, what is our position? And then I came to this, that our position is that we are a movement. We are moving in the qualities of Sat and Chit and Ananda. That's our position. Our position is that we are moving, and we are a movement. You said one time.
Yeah. That's what it is. This is a movement. See, if you don't have a you got to have a movement, right? Let's see here. So, just 1 second here. Remind me about this movement thing. I got to just paste something here because nobody else is doing it. So, okay, you can go to my timeline or in the comments here. The comments here, I'll post it again here for River. She wants to come on. I think here. Okay, comments. So both ways, it's in my my timeline and in the comments. So the word, movements. He's got. This is a movement. There's movement. People need to see, are you making movement? Are you moving in the religion? Are you moving forward? Or are you kind of snailing along? See, if you're ready to move, really move, have a movement, man. Like taking a laxative. Coming here is like taking a laxative, man. Just it all comes out. Real, from the bowels, it just all comes out, man. Just all that stuff you've been stopped up with and constipated with and repressed and suppressed, all that. You have a big bowel movement from the bowels of hell.
I think I understand that.
See, practical term. We use practical terms here. So practical, it gets people's attention. Like their eyes go wide. Like, how can he say that? I don't know. Krishna just gave me the words. Sounded good. Sounded right. Sounded practical. You want to move? You want to have a move? Are you in a real movement? Come here and you'll move. You'll have movements. Movements from the bowels of the earth, coming out, and then you're lifted. You ever have okay, let's get really practical. You ever have a good enema clean out, right? And you feel light, right? Like, wow, I feel so light and everything. That's how it is here. Krishna.
You take the words out of my mouth again.
Yeah. Yeah, you just light, just liberated, freedom, set free. Sounded good, sounded right, sounded practical. Yeah. Just great movement, man. Had a great movement today. Did you have a great movement? Krishna moving inside. After a while, you're cleaned out, and then there's not so much having to what do you call, get it out. It's it's no movie without movement. Yeah, and then you get a real movie. Yeah, the real movie. See, this is the movie, you notice? And without this stuff coming out, you can't participate very well. You're still like a child, yeah.
But talking about trusting Krishna, if you have a, a past or a present past to look back on, um, you can easily trust him because he protected me yesterday and the day before and the day before and the week before.
Yeah.
And when I see, for instance, now this whole period of COVID, it's longer than 1 year, I think
Yeah.
it's going
Yeah.
on.
Yeah.
It started while we were in Goa, you
Yeah.
remember?
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
I wore a mask coming back from Goa to Belgium.
Mm-hmm.
24 hours I had a mask on, and I think it's and then after that, very rarely I was not confronted with this whole COVID period while the whole world was in stress.
Mm-hmm.
I hardly noticed anything about this whole
Mm-hmm.
situation. I was really um it looks like Krishna took me out and said,
Yeah.
you can have your life.
Yeah. Yeah. Isn't that amazing? He does like that's what I've been experiencing. I'm doing basically the same thing and more than I ever. Matter of fact, the ecstasy has increased more. This is more ecstatic, man. I just love it. I can relate to that verse really clearly now in Shashastika, the white lotus of good fortune. Just always increasing. It's like, wow, this is so great, Lord. Thank you so much. Well, now let's share this with others, that how they can get to this stage. And yeah, it's fantastic. It's really amazing, huh? Your heart can't help but being grateful and forgiving to others, like God, you're free. When you're free, you just, why would you be against anybody? And that's why my preaching is sometimes a little hard to understand because people think I'm against people. I just, no, I want to, this is part of freeing them, believe it or not, it's like, see, okay. Lord Chaitanya said, whether people ask for it or not, he gave this to people. But to give this to people, they have to be purified too. They have to release this stuff. They have to become aware that they're wretched. And sometimes pointing it out is kind of a thing. Otherwise, they won't admit it. They got to see that this preaching that we're doing is very authoritative in various ways. Sometimes the false pride has to be cut down, otherwise people won't advance. That's why I kind of keep sticking with the Vaides. People, why do you have to keep sticking? Well, because that's part of the work. This is their. I'm here to serve Prabhupada, and he has all his followers, right? A lot of you guys have come here because of that, because you're followers of Prabhupada. So I'm part of the work is to help the Prabhupada, the Vaishnavas, because he's, I'm connected there like that. See, I have had a hard time from the beginning to relate to Vaidhi Bhakti. I just never, it's like, to me, it's like that was nothing. And because I'm here so that people can begin to relate to this is the next step. I mean, I could relate. It's like, I don't, this just rules empty. This, I'm relating to this. This is my relation, is this ecstatic worship. This is so much better, man. So much more potent, so much more life enhancing, so much more liberating. It's just so much more everything, man,
Logic.
Yeah, logically. And that's why the people have to see that, because this is where it's going. I didn't come into this lifetime to go there. You know, it was all about, you know, getting clear about, hey man, what am I here for? What is the purpose? And I realized, oh, it's this ecstatic worship. You know, bring this through again into this world. Show people this is more powerful. This is more life enhancing. This is the freedom. This is the happiness of worship. Look at, they show the example. You can be a guru without a devotee, man, without a bunch of votes from a group. Show that you can be a representative of Lord Chaitanya, Radha, and Krishna without all the external trappings. Just like Nityananda, he didn't have external trappings.
Mm.
He had internal trappings. See, that's what trapped the living entities into Vrindavan. You got them cornered into that corner.
Temple room inside.
Yeah, it's great, man. You know, so read that, Tom. What has he got to say there?
Okay, we need a collective action plan for organization of establishment of this sanghas.
Yeah.
You with to plan it as a transcendental movement.
Yeah, I don't know how that will take shape, because it's kind of organic the way things are going here, you know, organically growing. I keep trying to organize, and it never works, you know, like, hey, you do this, try to do this, and everybody looks at me and laughs. And, you know, it's going to happen when it's going to happen. Right now, we're just going to play our way into deepening this movement, and people will come and then just follow your heart. You know, a lot of it is purification. So Nora Drun, you're kind of new now, and as you get purified, you'll see automatically you'll get the empowerment to do stuff and organize things. It's kind of, we're not, I guess it's just not emphasizing external right now, emphasizing internal. Krishna's attracted you, but you know, there have been persons that are into Prabhupada's movement. Once the purification, it gets hot, they go jump back into the Vaidhi because they think, oh, this is, you know, this is too hot over here. So better to go through the purification and you know, the dissolving of the false ego identifications and everything, and then automatically, you spontaneously, you'll be preaching in different ways, various ways, together even. But we all, you know, need this. Part of it is just come, just kind of relax a little bit. You know, don't spend too much time writing stuff while this is going on. Stay close to the fire. Okay, not just see. You can be like, when I'm chanting, I'm not. You don't see me reading any comments that anybody's writing. No, I'm here. I'm absorbing and relishing this relationship with Krishna before the world. See, that's how Lord Chaitanya taught. But if I don't relish my relationship, I got no power. See, but to come to this point takes purification, because you're going to see stuff is going to come up and out, and might be bewildered sometimes because of false identifications. You just got to go through the fire, and then you'll get more and more closer and more, you know. But watch out for the writing so much. Everybody try to stay 100% here, because I know if I'm not 100%, I just don't get it. It's just we wouldn't be here now if I wasn't 100%. You guys that are 100%, also people looking at you like Lalita, she's 100% here. You know, you could see it. It works. Yeah, when she does her chanting, 100%, man. She wants to gobble up every second with Krishna, every millisecond. So yeah, and that's how this is going on, is by purification and by attention, keeping our attention 100%. And sometimes I can't sustain it always that long, because it's like 100%, especially, this is now, with cell phones and all these distractions, is to get your attention. Maya's, that's her thing, get your attention splayed out everywhere. See, this is a great way to get your attention back focused on Krishna and get the result of that. See, It's just like Jesus said, when your eye is single, your whole body will be full of light. See, when your eye is single, your whole body will be full of ecstasy and conclusive truth. See, now you represent Satchidananda in this world. So better work on that right now and not go so external. It's almost got, like devotees. They say, well, let's go out and make devotees. Let's go out and make devotees. This is the ISKCON way. That's the preliminary. Let's go make devotees. They go out trying to make devotees and not thinking, oh, well, first and foremost, let us relish worshiping Krishna in public. Let the world see how different it is, how wonderful it is. And whoever comes one by one is attracted. There we go. Now that it's made right. See, you make devotees by relishing you're an example of relishing your relationship with Krishna. You're intimate, you're letting it all hang out before the public and saying that's how you advertise. You advertise by actually worshiping God like that. Go ahead, Tom. What?
They will be moved that way. Meaning touched. Yes. They will be moved that way.
Yeah.
And in Dutch, it's het ontroert hun.
Yeah.
That's another meaning of being moved. Ontroerd. They will be moved.
Yeah. And if you're moved, and you may be moved to criticize, that's a movement. That's okay. You're getting purified. You may be moved like, wow, this is amazing. I've been looking for this. Let me come closer. There you go. That's Raganuga Bhakti. You're attracted to this way of worship. I mean, so Lord Chaitanya taught that. He said, you guys just happily chant Hare Krishna.
Yeah, they will be moved. They will be moved to test also. Yeah, they will be moved. They will be that's a word. They are provoked. They will be provoked. They will be activated to test, to inquire, to taste, etc., etc.
Yeah. See, that's your beginning of your spiritual life is like the book, chapter 12, Adi Lila. By the opinion of the opinion order of the spiritual master is the active principle of spiritual life. It's the activating principle. That's more of a verb. See, the activating, the opinion. So what is the opinion? Hey, man, ecstatic love of Krishna, that is the truth. That's my opinion. That's Krishna's opinion. That's my opinion. See? All that wonderful understanding. See? That is the truth. That is my truth. That is Krishna's truth. I'm here to present that. See, so that activates people's spiritual life. You see, they see real truth. And then you look into the world of illusion, even all in religion and even gurus even. You look, well, are they up to that standard? Usually not.
This is also, this is also the empowerment of the activating guru, the initiating guru, the Diksha guru. Mm-hmm. It's Diksha.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He's activating. He's waking up. He is initiating. Mm-hmm. And this power is also here present.
Yeah, and you see, that's a good point. A lot of people are looking for official initiation. Hey, man, you just come here and we'll initiate your spiritual life. Look at Christina. What kind of initiation? I didn't even change your name, nothing, because this is all internal initiation. So much more powerful. Hey, she got love of Krishna. Can you imagine? And she hasn't even been officially initiated. Shows it's not dependent on that.
You changed her name.
Huh?
You changed her name.
Did I change it?
Yeah.
Before she was Christiana, and now she's Christina.
Oh, really? I didn't know. Oh, she was Christiana. Oh,
Christiana.
Sorry. Okay, I can go back if I remember. Christiana.
Yeah.
Oh, I like Christiana. It's more exotic. Oh, here she comes. River's coming. Hey, what do you got to say, Squirt? My little transcendental squirt. She squirts a lot too, you know.
What?
You never
What is
know what
what?
she's gonna, you never
What
know
is
what she's
that?
gonna squirt. You gotta put this sound on there, babe. My little transcendental babe.
Why am I a squirt?
Because I like to say things like that.
What does that mean? Tom?
It's a pet name. It's something cute.
Oh.
But then that makes me an animal.
No, not a squirt.
Yeah,
Is a,
people have pets, don't they? Um,
well, you got
I
a
don't
little
know.
animal. Yeah.
I don't know if you answered my questions because
Oh
I've
yeah,
actually the one that I said, well, you said, well, what we bind here will bind in heaven. In heaven, I think you said heaven, but the spiritual world.
yeah.
So does that mean that I'll be stuck in the spiritual world as well? Because I'm not getting any better in this world. In fact, I'm getting much worse. So will I bind that in the spiritual world?
Well, how can you bind that? Because everything there is spiritual. You're gonna have everything is healthy, beautiful, perfect, you know, illuminated from within. How can any imperfection? Just right here, you just have to tolerate what you tolerate. Let it bring out what it brings out. You know.
It brings out my anger more than anything.
Yeah, hey man, that's why it's there. You know,
Nobody
probably.
likes to be around anger, do they?
No, well, they have transcendental anger. You know.
I don't think it is transcendental anger, actually. I think it's just anger from.
Well, yeah. Well, that's what I'm
but
saying. See, Krishna's using this to bring out all that stuff. When it's finished, you'll start probably peeing again and everything, you know. But this is all useful for him purifying you to get it all these things.
I understand that, but then other people don't understand the amount of pain I go through, and they make it sound simple that I should just, tolerate it. I wonder if they could tolerate it.
Yeah, maybe not.
It's easy to say, isn't it?
Yeah.
And it makes me angry. I'm kind of angry a lot.
Yeah.
I do a class, I have ecstasy, and I do a class, and I just have a shit day for the rest of the day.
You have a what?
A shit day for the rest of the day.
Yeah, well, that's how it works. I noticed that when I started preaching and people were getting purified, we get so ecstatic and everything. And then after the class, it was a shit show, man. People getting angry, envious. Oh my God. And I thought, what is it? I thought it was an up and up trip. But no, it's how it is for a while, And gradually, I mean, you can see those who are getting through and steady, like Lalita, she's pretty steady now, before, this, and you also, you'll see by and by, you'll be, yes. What else you got to do in this world? You might as well do the highest benefit. Otherwise you're going to suffer anyway, and worse. You might as well go through it like this. It's worth it. And then everything. Yeah, go ahead.
It is worth it. But one can tend to run to the doctors and want help, and then they make it worse. But my conditioning is that.
Mm-hmm.
My conditioning. I mean, I try a lot of the time. I don't go to the doctors, but then there's times where I feel like I really need to. And see what they have to say.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is worth it. It is worth it. But I don't like going through purification.
Yeah, nobody does. Yeah, nobody does.
No, some people don't have any purification to go through.
Well, it just depends on, like most people do, most of us do. And but it gets better, after a while, you don't have these, up and down, like a little material day and a little spiritual day. It becomes more steady in spirit. Then, it just, that's what we're on this planet for. Is now we found the real path to quick purification. It's about purifying. Even the Vaidis, they're doing austerities, yogis, they realize life is about to purify yourself in hard austerities and renunciations and fastings, and anybody sincere, that's so, because life is about purification. The Lord is making it easy here because, we're fortunate enough to recognize this path. You know, as I said before, there's people they're putting the rocks in front of them in Vrindavan, going around the hill, and I'm sitting there watching them. All they would have to do is actually just come and listen and hear, and they could put their rocks down, you know, and all that hard work, and then just go through the internal purification, you know.
Like hard work as well.
Yeah, but right now,
They're really hard for work for me at the moment. I don't know what to do to help myself, really.
Yeah. Well, then you're just gonna have to just let Krishna do what he can do. Yeah, and people, that's part of it, is they're not going to understand your situation and all that stuff, and you know, all these things.
No, it's not that I want them to understand. I want them to realize, you know, the things that people can say. Easy for them to say that.
Yeah, it's easy
because they're not in that situation. No, like walking in somebody else's shoes.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of that, you know. It's gradually it's just like, it's like, I'm not here to be understood. I'm just here to, I'm having too much fun understanding everything, you know, understanding Krishna, understanding, you know, it's just being understood is a little less mature position. It's still in the people, they want to be understood. They want to be loved. This is why this preaching, that Todd guy goes around, don't you know Jesus loves you? Oh, really? Oh, that's what it's about. Somebody loving me because I've been in this unlovable world, you know. Anyway, that's still...
Well, you made a child's balls appear there and then.
He made what?
A child's balls. A boy child. It wasn't born with any balls, but he made them appear there and then. Not that anybody saw anything, but this woman was like, my child has balls. I found that quite funny, actually.
He actually did that? He actually did something.
It's in that video that
they grow. Grow.
They grow instantly. She's shouting, "Oh, my child has balls."
I gotta see that video.
It's on Eric's timeline. It should be on there.
Okay, yeah. Good. This is so funny. Yeah. Hey, yeah. You know, there are miracles that can happen. I went around, you know, healing, but not everybody gets healed. Some people do, some people don't. Yeah. It was fun. Yeah, I would go around, get people. See, it's a good way to interact with people. Go on the street, and I say, "You got any pains?" And one guy said, "Oh, I have back pain for 10 years, man. I can't get rid of it." I said, "Okay, Jesus can do it, man." And I say, you know, just put my hands on him. Jesus, in your name, pain go away. And a lot of times it did, man. I have video. You can look at it. One guy says,
I've seen them.
You see that guy one in the story? He goes, what did you do? What do you got? You got something in your hands? No, just...
I had a Christian preacher do that to me in town. We were preaching we did Harinam one day, and he had a lot of people around him. He's quite a young guy, and his preaching was really impressive. It was really, really impressive. So I went and spoke to him. I can't remember if it was me or him, but anyway, he said, he put his hand on my head and did these prayers and said that I'd be healed in 6 months.
Yeah, has it been 6 months?
It's been over a year, maybe 2 years.
Oh well, it's not in Krishna's timeline. Okay,
I just want to share that it's difficult, you know, because it feels like, and it's the false ego that you're getting. It's always telling me you're gonna die now because you've got this and you've got this and you've got this, the things that it says, and it takes away my enthusiasm for wanting to do more classes. Like health takes away my enthusiasm, and that's one of the most difficult things about it.
Well, again, you know, it's an attitude. You have to see this is part of your purification. You got to trust that. Just trust this is what's happening. This is Krishna's arrangement, and this is for my thing. Yeah, this is for my purification.
Service as well.
Yeah, your service. This is your service. So you're thinking that it's not, and that's the unhappiness you feel because you're not in tune with the Lord's real thing, that this is part of your service, part of the transformation. So it's otherwise it's kind of like that, like others are saying, well, we got to do something out there. We got to do something out there. Well, this is what the Lord is doing, because it's happening for you, whatever it is, for all of us, whatever it is, whether you're out there more or inside more, it's all part of it.
Can you please tell her how to progress? What's progressive for her?
I don't have to tell her. I just see. It's not about telling anybody anything. It's about just sharing, and she knows the thing, but she says what she says, and she wants to express herself, and
I need to get it out, because it just
she needs
starts
to get it out. Yeah,
clogged up and just bigger.
Yeah, it's not about me and pushing and say, yeah, she needs to just share her mind, Yeah.
Don't forget, Yamuna, yesterday is not today and today it's not tomorrow. You forget sometimes that you had a good day yesterday and then you are very joyful, and tomorrow maybe you forgot today. And when you have a bad day, it looks like, ooh, everything is, but you also have days that you are very enthusiastic and powerful.
Yeah, I don't identify with it.
Yeah.
That's the greatest thing. They're still there, but I don't identify with it. And but then they all come at once, and then it's like you just like drowning.
Yeah, I know.
Drowning in that, and it does help. Doing classes, it does help. Because you really don't identify with what's going off in your body, because you're doing service for the Lord. And then it's nice that you said that this is service for the Lord as well. That makes me a warrior, Guru Maharaj.
Yeah.
That's my warrior
Absolutely.
status to do this. And when you said it to me, I was like, I don't know what you mean. And now I realize, I think it was, who was it? Somebody said something and it just clicked.
Yeah.
Wow, I'm doing this work, inner work. And, that's my warrior.
That's the warrior thing. Yeah.
Yeah, it really is. Yeah.
So you go with courage, and so everything for you is gravy. I mean, the Lord is in you. He's alive and kicking, and so everything is just, he's in you. You have attraction to Krishna. He's working. You have the symptoms of the Lord being awakened in you. So everything is gravy, more and more, and whatever you have to go through. So, and even if you die now, the Lord is in you. Who's gonna help you now is the Lord, and you'll have a.
Oh, it's frozen.
And the contact and the communication is there with you and Krishna. That's what I feel. The communication and the contact is there, and from that, all is settling. All is coming from there.
Absolutely, yeah.
We have to chant. I feel I have to. When he's gone, he's frozen. I want to call him back.
Talk as well.
Jai Shri Krishna.
Chant.
Yeah, we chant. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare Rama,
Krishna.
Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Rama, Rama.
Hare Krishna,
Krishna, Krishna.
Hare Rama, Rama Rama.
Rama, Rama.
Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna.
Hare Rama,
Krishna, Krishna, Hare. Hare Rama.
Hare Krishna, Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Shri Gaura Haridas.
Hare Krishna, Krishna.
Krishna, 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 Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Rama.
Hare Rama, Rama, Rama.
Rama, Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama.
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. I'm
It's just like clockwork. You know, right at a certain time, the computer the connection doesn't work, and then I have to go on the phone, but it works at least. So anyway, Madhusudan put an interesting thing. Okay, read that, Tom.
Truly I tell you, whatever you bind on earth will be bound in heaven, and whatever you loose on earth will be loosed in heaven.
Yeah, let
Wow.
me say something about that. Yeah. So whatever you bind on earth, you bind in heaven. So if you bind devotion, you're binding it. See, heaven, to be more conclusive, heaven and earth will pass away, but the words of devotees won't. So there's something more than heaven. And that's what Jesus really means. See, people only think in terms of heaven because they, still material. They want to go to heaven. So anyway, the spiritual world is eternal. It's built on truth, on the word. See, the real word. So, so whatever you bind on earth, you bind in the spiritual world, the eternal world. See? So if you bind this devotion, that's where you're going. See, and there's symptoms. Symptoms is the Lord is awakened in your heart, and you can taste this transcendental bliss and ecstasy and emotions, and they have impact on your temple. They start to express from there. Okay, so whatever you bind. Now, this is interesting. Whatever you loose on earth, you loose in heaven. See, so on earth we're loosing. Also, it's actually the same thing. Whatever you loose on earth, whoever you free on earth. See, whoever and whatever you loose on earth is loose in heaven. So most people are bound, or in spiritual world, most people are bound here. So you loose them, they're bound, their bondage here. See? And then they're free in the spiritual world. See, not necessarily you have to go there, they're already there. See, they're loosened, their bounds, the modes of nature. You loose here, they're loose in the spiritual world. See, to experience. See, and so whatever you loose here and loose there. And so see, what do you bind? You got to bind the devotion, and then that loosens the ropes of Maya. Loosens the spiritual. Go ahead, read some more there.
Again, truly I tell you, if two of you agree on earth about anything you ask, it will be done for you by my Father in heaven.
Yeah, so yeah. Okay, go on.
Matthew 18:18-19. Earth is the world of illusion in which we live. Heaven is the realm of consciousness in which we are eternally one with Spirit. Jesus is teaching us here, as he does throughout his ministry.
Yeah, well, you see, that's why I don't like using word heaven, because heaven is a temporary place. We're not eternal there. Yeah, you got to go to the actual dimension. That's why spiritual world gives a little distinction between heaven and what's eternal. Heaven is temporary still. It's a place of enjoyment. It's a place where people, they want to worship Jesus so that they can go to heaven. It's still kind of material, not conclusive. So here
it says, heaven is the realm of consciousness in which we are eternally one with Spirit.
Yeah, but that's not true. Heaven is not that place. Heaven is still within the material universe. See, heaven is not even liberated state yet. It's not liberated. Liberation is beyond. See, heaven is a place of material enjoyments. Still, heaven and earth will pass away. See, spirit, even liberation doesn't pass away because it's part of the eternal form of God, his effulgence. See, heaven and earth will pass away. Anyway, there's a lot of inconclusiveness in the Bible. We're here to straighten that out. This, if you listen to this, makes more sense, doesn't it? Heaven and earth. See, I'm even using the verses. Why would Jesus say heaven and earth will pass away if it's eternal? Right?
Yeah. Here the priorities, they are more clear.
Yeah. Everything is, this is what the Lord has given us. Very crystal clarity. It's so crystal. This is part of the happiness of devotees, is to revel in this crystal clarity. You know, it makes everything clear. It's like, because the Maya is making everything jumbled up, everything unclear. Even that's why even in religion, in these books, they've been tainted by these editors using words like that are actually contradicting. See, if so, like Madhusudana is quoting that thing, heaven is, you know, the oneness and it's eternal, but that contradicts the words that Jesus says. So therefore, there's some problem. Well, we straighten that out. That's why our talking with Christians could be very valuable to straighten these things out, because most Christians can't make these distinctions to this kind of razor sharp, you know, cutting away of all illusions.
So
Okay.
We are using words like mundane and transcendental, and they are more distinguishing.
Yeah, I mean, that's basically, you know, even in Vaishnavism, they're using mundane words to represent the transcendental. They might say, or mundane experiences, like the mode of goodness. They think that's transcendental. It's not. Everything has to be put in its place. That's we're organizers. Organize everything. You know, everything put on its right shelf. You know, this belongs here. This belongs here.
We are clarifying the path where others mixed up.
Yes. Yeah. Okay, read David Beeman.
I don't really care if anybody loves me. I'm just trying to keep from being attacked from witches.
That's your karma there. Kama Kanta is the witches, the women witches. He has all these women witches after him. It's just because you cause a reaction. See, Maya's not finished with you on that. He's bewitching you. She's bewitching you. He sends the witches after you.
I don't know where they are coming from, but they are everywhere, disguised, of course.
See, Kamakanta, Krishna wants you to learn this lesson really clearly. He sends all the witches after you. He's trying to get away from the witches, and then he takes the job as massage therapist. What a play! It's where you get all the witches. Your soul wants that experience to be witchy. You're here to be witchy. Get the witches' blessings.
Wow.
What else?
You are kind of secluded out there in the desert, Maharaj, but they will find you.
No, they're doing massage.
John the Baptist tried to hide in the desert, but the witches got him. Keep those weapons close, Hari. Kalmakanta.
Yeah, I'm getting better at handling the witches. It's not easy. It takes some time. So yeah. Okay. All right. So I have a lot to do today. So I'm going to be moving on, and you guys can do what you do. Thank you for coming, everybody. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Maharaj.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna, Tom, Lilita.
Yeah, thank you guys for coming. Thank you, audience, everybody.